So President Biden goes to Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, and this is on August 30th, and makes a speech. Of course, Pennsylvania's got some hot political races before this midterm that we're all watching, including Dr. Oz. And he makes a couple of bizarre remarks, and it kind of reminds you of why they don't let him come out, and talk too much, despite his primetime address tonight on the soul of the nation. He decides to make a comment about guns, and he's, of course, ripping on the right for being pro-Second Amendment. It's right there in the Constitution. Take it up with the founders. And he says the following, which seems to mean because the people say hey, we have a right to protect ourselves from criminals and to form a militia and to prevent our government from overreaching. And here was his response.
Right now, you can't go out and buy an automatic weapon. You can't go out and buy a cannon. And for those brave right-wing Americans who say it's all about keeping America's independent and safe, if you want to fight against the country, you need an F-15. You need something a little more than a gun. No, I'm not joking. Think about this. Think about the rationale we use. That's used to provide this. And who are they shooting at? Shooting at these guys behind me.
So, at which point, all Republicans started to Google how to make a nuke? I mean, what is he saying?
Megyn, I'm going to see if I can get this right. What we're being told is conservatives have absolutely no power. Our AR-15s, they don't mean anything. There is no way to oppose the government. You would need a squadron of F-15s if you wanted to even have a fighting chance against the government. You'd still certainly lose, by the way. Also, a band of unarmed people, one of whom was wearing a horn hat, almost overthrew the Republic on January 6th. So I don't quite, did the horn hat guy have an F-15? I don't, hold on. I was told that you need a squadron of fighter jets, and yet I was also told we have to take away the AR-15, the most popular rifle in America, because it's a weapon of war. So which is it? I'm not sure. Furthermore, I was told that the American people, if the government ever, God forbid, turn so tyrannical that they're, strafing the middle of the country, dropping bombs on Oklahoma or something, that we would have no way to defend ourselves. And yet, I seem to recall that a band of basically illiterate goat herders with black powder rifle guns in Afghanistan successfully fended off the United States for about 20 years. Afghanistan is the size of Texas. So please forgive me if I'm a little skeptical of some of Joe Biden's claims. He's speaking from a point of desperation, which is that desperate regimes always try to disarm the citizens. And they don't disarm the citizens because the arms aren't significant. They disarm the citizens because they know that an armed populace is going to be much, much harder to put the foot on the back of their necks.
Yeah, again, well said. Then he made yet another racist comment. I mean, it's like if the media would actually keep track of Joe Biden's racist comments, they would see he dwarfs Trump. Trump made some comment at a rally where my Black American, that, which they blew up into a front page story for days, right? For days. And Biden gets a pass on all of it. You ain't black if you don't vote Democrat, all the stuff that he has said over the years. And we could go down the list. And the latest was about how you know where to find the best basketball in the state, if you know what I'm saying. Listen here.
If I can just interject for a moment, my deceased son, Bo, he was the Attorney General of the state of Delaware. And what he used to do is go down on the east side, what called the Bucket, highest crime rate in the country. There's a place where I was the only white guy that worked as a lifeguard down in that area, on the east side. And you know you can always tell where the best basketball in the state is and the best basketball in the city is. It's where everybody shows up.
Oh boy. And just as a refresher, here are a couple of others. You cannot go into a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking. Obama, when you hear this quote again, it's stunning. He became the guy's vice president. Obama is the first mainstream African American who is articulate and bright and clean and a nice looking guy. What the F? He said that poor kids are just as bright and talented as white kids. Oh my God. And now this. So, you got to keep it in context because he's got a long history of these things. Collective yawn by the media. They don't care.
I'm starting to think that Corn Pop was the good guy. I think when Biden was that lifeguard, he didn't tell that story right. Corn Pop, I think, was the good guy. Of course, he gets a pass. It doesn't matter because no one actually cares about racism. Racism has basically lost all of its meaning. All it is a cudgel to attack Republicans. When Joe Biden comes out and he says, these Republicans are all racist, most recently he said, these Republicans, they're fascists. I promise you, I would bet my life savings Joe Biden not only has never read The Doctrine of Fascism by Mussolini, he has never even heard of The Doctrine of Fascism. He has no idea what it means. All fascism means, and George Orwell made this point, today is something that I don't like. All racism means is bad. You're a bad person. And so it doesn't matter. They'll never hold Biden or any of the Democrats to this standard. It has nothing to do with race. Has nothing to do with 20th century Italian political movements. What they're saying is, you Republicans are bad, and we are going to boot you out of the public square.
So yes, President Unity did refer to half the country as semi-fascists. And just in case we didn't fully understand what he meant, his right-hand woman, Karine Jean-Pierre, takes to the White House podium lectern to explain as follows. Listen to how she put it.
The president thinks that there is an extremist threat to our democracy. The president has been clear as he can be on that particular piece when we talk about a democracy, when we talk about our freedoms. The way that he sees is the MAGA Republicans are the most energized part of the Republican Party. This is an extreme threat to our democracy, to our freedom, to our rights. They just don't respect the rule of law. You heard that from the president. They are pursuing an agenda that takes away people's rights. So, which is what the president said last week on Thursday. You all heard him. This is what the president said yesterday, and that's what he's going to continue to say.
She's reading. She prepared that. It came out exactly as she wanted it to. That MAGA Republicans are an extreme threat to our democracy, etc.
That's the key. The key is that this was not a gaffe that she might be prone to, that Joe Biden is certainly prone to. This was written out. This was agreed upon in the White House. She repeated it, and she's calling the Republicans terrorists who pose an existential threat. You'll notice that the left doesn't refer to terrorists as terrorists. They refer to the leader of ISIS as the austere religious scholar. They're really.
It was in the New York Times.
That's right. But the Republicans are the terrorists. And there's such an irony, too, because, if you call someone an extreme threat to our democracy, you're saying this is their very existence is the threat. It's existential. And so the only implied solution here would be to get rid of half the country. They're saying the only way that we can protect government of the people, by the people, and for the people is to get rid of half the people. And that's incoherent from the standpoint of democracy, but it does start to make sense when you realize, and the Harvard law professor Adrian Vermeule has made this point, when the left refers to democracy, they don't mean democracy. They mean liberalism. They mean leftism. They mean progressivism. That's the only way it makes sense that when the people elect Donald Trump, it's a threat to democracy. When the people elect Bolsonaro in Brazil, they elect Orban in Hungary. It could even be an overwhelming majority of people who elect these leaders. But if the leaders are right-wing, then somehow it's a threat to democracy, even if the demos, the people, is the one electing them. Because for the left, democracy means absolutely nothing. It's all just to protect liberalism.
Are you tired of feeling like someone's always watching you on the internet? Maybe advertisers know just a little bit too much about you, or you're concerned about the privacy of your identity. Using incognito mode will not solve the problem either. IPVanish VPN is here for you. They will protect your right to privacy and help you stay anonymous online. IPVanish helps you safely browse the internet without exposing your private details to nosy third parties like hackers, your ISP, or advertisers. When you use IPVanish, all of your data is encrypted. That means your private details, your passwords, your communications, browsing history, and all of it will be completely shielded from falling into the wrong hands. Even your physical location will be hidden thanks to these guys. IPVanish is offering an incredible 70% off their yearly plan right now for our listeners with a 30-day money-back guarantee. That is like getting 9 months for free. IPVanish is also super easy to use. All you do is you tap one button, you are instantly protected. So take your privacy back today with a brand rated 4.6 out of 5 on Trustpilot. Go to ipvanish.com/Megyn and use the promo code MEGYN to claim your 70% savings. That's ipvanish.com/Megyn. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.